Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. And I wasn't actually planning on doing another World of Warships video so soon after yesterday's World of Warships video, but then I saw this replay and, well, when you see it you'll understand. So, this is Aussie MC, who I believe, judging by his post-battle results screen, which we'll see at the end of the video, is German. Well, the post-battle results are in German. He may, of course, be from Austria, possibly even Switzerland. They speak German in Switzerland as well. Well, some of them do. They actually have 4 official languages in Switzerland. Think of that for a minute. French, German, Italian, and Romansh. I've never even heard of it. Alright. 4 official languages. That must be very confusing. How do they find the time? Actually, I spent 4 years growing up as a teenager in South Africa, and they have 2 official languages there, and that was confusing enough. Luckily, I did speak at least one of them, English and Afrikaans. And those were just the official languages, because of course there are lots of black people who live in South Africa, substantially more than the white minority, whether they're of Dutch, English or Portuguese descent. So, you know, as well as all the whiteys, there were a substantial number of people speaking Zulu, Bantu, Xhosa, Siswati, and I have no idea how many other tribal languages and dialects. And then, of course, there was the fairly large Indian community as well. I've no idea what it's like there now. How many... If anybody's watching this video from South Africa, who has recently been to South Africa, just exactly how many official languages do you have over there now, and how confusing does it get? Anyway, enough of that. Back to the game. Aussie MC here in the Musashi, and you will notice, like right now for example, at several points throughout the course of this battle, he's going to be taking over the camera and having a really good long hard look at his ship. And why not? Because the Musashi is pretty beautiful. Premium Tier 9 Japanese battleship, the sister ship of the Yamato, and she is pretty much exactly the same as the Yamato, in all but 2 respects. Her anti-aircraft firepower is abysmally bad, but that doesn't matter, there are no carriers in this game. And her guns, while equally big, luckily for that Fiji, they're nowhere near as accurate. But in all other respects, this is basically a Tier 9 Yamato. It's got the Yamato's armour, it's got the Yamato's hit points, not far short of 100,000 health. Yeah, at Tier 9. Yes, I know. And while these guns aren't as accurate as the Yamato's 18-inch guns, they are still 18-inch guns, and they do bring a lot of hurt. If the guns behave themselves, and if they actually hit the target. Targets like the enemy Musashi and the enemy Izumo, who are both broadsiding. Now, if you're in this situation in a Yamato, this would be a guaranteed 100% no shit Sherlock, definite paddling for the Izumo. I mean, look at that target. If you were in a Montana, this would be a guaranteed paddling for the Izumo. But Aussie isn't in a Yamato, and he isn't in a Montana. And that's pretty much what you can expect to happen on a semi-regular basis if you're in the Musashi. Now, I do have to admit, and some of you may be thinking the same thing yourself, that while it is still fairly early on in the battle, nobody's actually managed to sink something yet, although one of the destroyers is about to die. He's only done 9,700 damage with a couple of salvos fired, and he's managed to miss the Fiji again. Seriously underestimated just how quickly a Fiji can accelerate. But at this point I was actually thinking to myself, Aussie, are you absolutely sure you've sent me the right Musashi replay? Did you play 2 Musashi games and sent me the wrong file? Because, well, I'm not really feeling it so far. 9,700 damage done. You've missed more shots than you've hit. You're about to miss a few more. This isn't exactly the sort of thing that rip-roaring, white-knuckle, thrill-a-minute YouTube battleship replay videos are made of. And if you're thinking that yourself, it would be entirely understandable. But you're just going to have to be patient for a little while longer. Yes, Aussie, it is a very, very pretty ship, but focus on the enemy. He's managed to miss the Ibuki as well. You see what I'm talking about? I'm sitting here at this point and I'm thinking, Well, alright, there's only one ship dead, but you've still only done 9,700 damage. When is it going to start to get interesting? Reasonably soon. Shots out at the Ibuki again. There it is. Ah, finally. Now we're talking. There's some of those battleship big numbers we've come to expect. Shots out from the rear turret. Doesn't look too convincing. One hit. But the front turrets are ready to go again. Shots out for the third. And hopefully final time at the Ibuki. And Aussie's finally got his name on the scoreboard. So it did take a while to get going. But things are about to change. Izumo. Izumo, Fiji. Where did the Musashi go?
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Well, the Iowa is shooting at the Fiji. And Aussie's thinking about it, but he decides to go for the Izumo. And it's not the best angle. But, well, these are 18-inch guns and they don't really care too much about armour angling. The Izumo has been buffed recently, by the way. The deck armour was strengthened, so it's no longer a floating tinderbox for cruiser high explosive. But this isn't a cruiser, and those aren't high explosive. So, you can angle all you like, sunshine. This is 18-inch armour piercing. Yes, Aussie, it's a very pretty ship. Do try to focus on the game. And the dispersion of those shots is pretty terrible, but some of them hit, and some damage is done. And there's the enemy Musashi. He's come around the other side of the island. Now, as Aussie is moving forward, and you'll note that nobody's actually targeting him, which is always good. But the further forward he moves, the better the angles become for his shots against that Izumo. He's trying to figure out which way the Izumo is actually going. He is moving forwards. Okay, shot out again. And this looks slightly better. Yeah, not bad. Now, the enemy Musashi appears to be shooting at the Iowa. Certainly, it's only now that somebody actually starts targeting Aussie, but it's not that Musashi. In fact, the only fire coming in from that Musashi are his secondary gun batteries. The Izumo has finally realised that Aussie, while he's keeping his bows pointing towards that Musashi, and doing to that Musashi, with these 18-inch guns, what the Musashi should be doing to Aussie, the Izumo has only now realised that he's got the broadside of Aussie's ship to shoot at. And now he's swinging his gun barrels around while the Musashi is still completely ignoring Aussie. And Aussie, of course, is going to take full advantage of that, because you can't really angle your armour against 18-inch guns. And there goes the enemy Musashi. The Izumo has shots out, but it's just a day late and $1 short. Having taken care of the enemy Musashi, he's now able to swing the bows of the ship around. And look at the target that the Izumo is giving him. I think what the Izumo is doing, and it does make a certain amount of sense, is he's bow tanking the 16-inch guns of the Iowa that's in front of him, because you can't bow tank a Musashi's 18-inch guns, and yeah, that really did hurt. But that decision would only make sense if he were reversing, because as he keeps moving forward, he's given more and more of a broadside to Aussie's 18-inch guns. Although he's going to live for a little while longer because Aussie has decided he wants to eliminate that Fiji before he gets within torpedo range, because he wants to keep moving forward so he can broadside. Yep, there goes the Fiji. So he can broadside the Izumo. So the Izumo's decision to bow tank the Iowa's guns did make a certain amount of sense, but only if he'd been reversing and backing off around the corner of the island behind him. By moving forward, perhaps he thinks he's going to be able to ram the Iowa, but by moving forward, well, yeah. Didn't work out for him. Yeah. I mean, it's all well and good to point and laugh at people when they do something that seems stupid, but I think it's more helpful if you try to figure out the method behind their madness and try to figure out why they were doing what it was that led to their hilarious death. Ah, hello. That's a Baltimore. There's a Neptune waiting around the corner for him. Do you think the Baltimore realises Well, possibly. I mean, he is a radar ship, but I don't know if the Neptune's been spotted. I do know the Baltimore's been spotted, so he's got... Yes, Aussie, it's a very pretty ship. So the Neptune is going to have a big surprise waiting for that Baltimore when he comes around the corner. Now, there was something that happened earlier that we missed. Aussie is not alone in this battle. He's not the only Musashi in the battle. In fact, he's not the only Musashi in his division. He is, in fact, divisioned up with another Musashi. Oh, yep, looks like the Baltimore is taking a severe spanking from the Neptune. And, yeah, he's dead. Okay, well, not entirely unexpected. Yes, Aussie, we know, it's a very pretty ship. However, Aussie's division mate, also in a Musashi, has unfortunately died. He managed to make contact, in a very literal sense, with an enemy Missouri. I don't know who rammed who, but Aussie is now... Oh, hang on a second. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a Kraken. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is, kill number 5, Kraken Unleashed. So, 5 kills for Aussie. And there are the Ibuki torpedoes. Now that is, well, to quote Flamu, very questionable. Who exactly is the Ibuki expecting to hit with those torpedoes? Then again, he's probably expecting to die soon, and he's got very little else better to do with his torpedoes. Yes, Aussie, it's a very pretty ship, we know. Oh, he does actually have shots at the Ibuki. Shots are out. Equally questionable Neptune torpedoes heading in the direction of the Ibuki. Oh, and it's a Citadel. 174,000 damage done. And we missed it in all the excitement, but Aussie capped. Along with the Iowa over there, which is also a very pretty ship. 2 top-tier battleships, capping. What a time to be alive. The New Orleans is moving through the narrows up ahead. He's about to get eyes on the Ibuki, who we can tell is still inside the cap circle. Yep, there he is. The Ibuki's going to do one or two things here. He's either going to keep going to try to get into cover behind those islands, although he may not make it, or he's going to turn so he can get his torpedoes away from the port side. And he's turning, so there are going to be torpedoes, but that turn is what killed him. Then again, to be completely fair to the Ibuki, he was probably dead anyway. He wasn't necessarily going to make it into the cover of the islands up ahead, and by turning he was at least able to bring his guns to bear, and he did get to kill the New Orleans. So from his perspective, that was probably actually worth it. Now, we did spot one of the 2 surviving enemy destroyers. It's a Kagero. Shots out against the Tirpitz. Heavily armoured German battleship with a turtleback armour scheme protecting the Citadel. There's the high caliber award. Fair old amount of damage, but you shouldn't expect to score Citadels against German battleships like that. Now, we know the Kagero... In fact, there he is again. Now, I know that I said... Oh, look, the Tirpitz is firing high explosive. Well, of course he is. Wait, what? The Kagero just launched his torpedoes. I'm taking charge of the camera here. I need a closer look. He did. Who are they aimed at? There's nobody there. Okay. I realise I did say that I'm trying not to just point and laugh at people, but rather it's more helpful to try to analyse why they're doing what they're doing. But what the hell is that Kagero thinking? He's in one of the sneakiest destroyers in the game. He knows there's a Musashi coming. He obviously knows that he's doing it again. He had his torpedoes loaded and ready to go. And rather than bug out and fire the torpedoes from outside of detection range when he might actually hit something, this was his plan. Well, I'll take it. How many kills is that now? It's almost all of them, actually. In fact, remember, there are only 12 ships on a team in World of Warships. One of their cruisers has a kill. Aussie's division mate in the other Musashi has 2 kills. And Aussie has 8. And there's only 1 enemy ship remaining. If Aussie can kill this last enemy destroyer, that means his division have killed 11 of the 12 ships available to be killed on the enemy team. And he's up to 215,000 damage. And he's there in chat. Where is the Mars? Be very, very quiet. We're hunting destroyers. Well, he was over in A. And oh look, Aussie's capped Bravo as well. that's 2 captures in a top tier battleship. Yeah, I know. What he's doing here, by the way, he's firing his guns for a reason. I mean, the Musashi surface detection range is pretty bad anyway, but it's spectacularly bad when it fires the guns. It can be spotted from 26.5 kilometers away. The fact that he wasn't spotted when he did fire the guns tells him a few things about where that Mars might be. Oh, there he is. Right, okay. It's on. One final kill to be claimed. Swinging the ship around. Guns are ready to go. Can't see him though. Maybe we should launch our catapult fighter. Yeah, let's launch the catapult fighter. Oh, we're spotted. So he's in line of sight. There he is. Now, again, we're going to try to assign a bit of method to the madness on display. The Mars is at a range of less than 5 kilometers. There has been nothing over on this side of the map for this guy to torpedo for at least the last 5 minutes, so his torpedo tubes must be loaded. But this guy is so determined to try to finish off a Musashi with his guns that not only does he not fire his torpedoes, but he's also so focused on shooting at Aussie that if Aussie hadn't sunk him there, he would have run himself aground on the island in front of him. So I suppose there are 2 things that we can actually take away from today's video. First, even if you're in a ship with guns as notoriously inaccurate as the Musashi, when the stars and planets all line up in the correct alignment, you can still have a monster game. And secondly, and perhaps more importantly, while we have been trying to be generous and deduce the method behind the apparent madness that we see on display in a game of World of Warships in order to try to figure out why people are doing the apparently stupid things that we see them doing. And sometimes, after careful examination of the facts, it turns out that what we thought was an incredibly stupid move actually probably made an awful lot of sense to the player concerned at the time. On the other hand, no matter how hard we try to come up with a complicated explanation, sometimes the simplest explanation is best. The player concerned is, in fact, a brain-dead shitter who probably shouldn't be left in charge of a television set, let alone a multi-million-dollar warship. That's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.